Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jump and today I'm doing my top 5 favourite Super Mario Galaxy 2 bosses. Now, with Mario Galaxy 2, it is basically an expansion, basically, of the original Mario Galaxy, and it's got its even though it's a continuation from that game and a kind of expansion, it's got its own story, and as well as new bosses and new galaxies and stuff like that. So, and a lot of the bosses you can find either at the end of a particular world or throughout some of the other galaxies that you might come across throughout your journey. And in today's video I'll just be going over some of my favourite bosses that you can fight in the game. So for number 5 is the Boomstick Machine. Now this is one of the Grand Star bosses, and the Boomstick Machine is controlled by Bowser Jr. And what I like about this boss is that it utilises the power of the Cloud Flower, and that's really interesting because, like, with the way this boss works is that there are these propeller things like around the stage, and you basically have to use the Cloud Flower to basically lift yourself up and then go towards the Boomstick Machine and just do a ground pound, and then after a bit the Boomstick Machine will then gain wheels, and then it will move about the stage, and then it'll have like fire bars spinning around, and that's really tough, especially when it comes to the Daredevil Comet, where you have to try not get hit once. And yeah, I think this is a really nice the boss fight, and it's just like a really well done fight, and it utilizes, I think, both the stage and the power up that you have to its advantage, and I think it's really cool and interesting. For number 4 is Prince Picante, and I think this is the son, I think, of King Caliente that you fight in the original Mario Galaxy. And what I like about Prince Picante is that he's like got this like sort of machine thing that can fire meteors or coconuts, I believe. And like with King Caliente, you have to like just hit the coconuts back at Picante, but instead of being in this arena full of lava, you're instead on ice, and that's like really one of the things that really interesting, because like you don't really normally fight bosses on ice, and this is like one of the few bosses that does this sort of thing, where you have to try and position yourself in the right position to hit the coconuts and without getting hit by the meteors, and all of them doing trying to run about on the ice. And I think that's really fun, and yeah, I think this is a really interesting way of using, again, like with the Boomstick Machine fight, it's basically just using the arena around you, and and having you to try and find the right position to try and attack the boss, that kind of thing, and I think it's really fun. For number 3 is Gobble Guard. Now, Gobble Guard is I believe the first Grand Star boss you fight in the game, and what I like about Gobble Guard is that it kind of reminds me of Megaleg, I think the first Grand Star boss of Galaxy 1, in the sense that he's larger than the planet itself that you fight on, and in Gobble Guard's boss fight, you basically have to avoid Gobble Guard while he's whenever he tries to attack you, whenever he dives into the planet, and then you have to try and hit all the red orbs that he has on his belly, and that's basically it. And then later in the game you fight Fiery Gobble Guard, which is basically a harder version of the regular Gobble Guard, and it kind of reminds me of the PT Piranha, Fiery PT Piranha in the original Galaxy game, where with those boss fights you had to fight one PT Piranha and then fight a fiery PT Piranha later on in the game. And the Gobble Guard fight kind of reminds me of that. And yeah, for a first Grand Star boss, it's kind of fun to have a boss that's larger than you, and I hope that in the next Mario game we can have a boss kind of like that. So yeah. For number 2 is Rolodillo, I think that's how you pronounce it, and this boss is basically this giant armadillo thing, and the only way to hit it is by using the rock suit and trying hitting it from the back. Now, this is a really interesting boss because, again, like with the Boomstick Machine, it utilizes both the arena and the power up that you get for the boss fight. This time being the rock mushroom, and yeah, I think this is a really fun way of using the arena, because on the planet that you're on, it's basically this giant metal planet thing, and what makes this fun is because the rock mushroom that you use, but it basically goes at hypersonic speed. There's a bit of an exaggeration, but it does go quite fast, and you have to try and control where you're going when using the rock mushroom, so that you can try and aim and hit Rolodillo from behind. Yeah, no, I think it's really fun, and I do like the design of Rolodillo. It's basically just a giant furry armadillo thing, and I do like how I do like the design of how the armor looks. It looks quite fun. I would have liked it maybe if every time we hit it, part of its armor would fall off maybe. I think that would have made it a lot more interesting maybe, just to see kind of like how some other bosses in other games might lose armor or something like that when you hit them maybe. But it would have been something cool. It would have been, I think, would have made the boss fight a lot cooler. So yeah. And for number 1 is the Womp King from it's the Womp King, yeah. Now he's from Throwback Galaxy, and which is basically one of the levels from Super Mario 64. And what makes this boss fight cool is that when you fight the Womp King in Galaxy 2, he is the same Womp King that you fight in the original in Mario 64, and I think he has a lot of the same dialogue, but during the boss fight in Galaxy 2, he will realise that he's just doing his speech again, and then he will repeat his final speech when you fight him again, and once you beat him. And that's really interesting, because that's really a really cool way of using a galaxy and using a boss. That's really cool, because with Throwback Galaxy, I think it's basically the same place as Womp's the Fortress in 64, and then when you get to fight the boss, it's the same one as that one. And I do really enjoy the boss because it's basically this giant Womp just trying to attack you, and it's basically, again, like with Gobble Guard, he is a lot larger than you, so it makes you feel like you're going against this Goliath of a boss, and it's really fun just to see this boss doing the same attacks again. But I don't think, like in Mario 64, I don't think you can do the ground pound glitch that you can do in 64 than you can do in Galaxy 2. So yeah. So that's been my top 5 favourite Super Mario Galaxy 2 bosses. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.